So, want to be the inventor of Parmesan? Well, it's already been done. You can grab a time machine and go back, but you gotta call Elon Musk for that. Hey guys, I'm TutsByKai. I'm Kai. Today we're back once again taking a look at how to make like this popping text animation where all the letters kind of pop in, which looks really cool. As you can see right here, this is the animation. Look at all that. That is so smooth, so slick and shiny. Look at that. Very cool stuff. But yeah, it's super easy, super fun to do, and it's very similar to something that we've done just recently. You guys seem to love the text animation motion graphics as always, so we're back once again with another one. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and start up a new scene here. We're gonna hit delete, drag a box over top of the default cube and the lamp, and hit delete on your keyboard. You go ahead and grab the camera, hit Alt G to clear location, and Alt R to clear rotation. Hit RX and then 90 on your numpad and hit enter to confirm that movement. And then we'll go ahead and hit GY to move the camera backwards behind the red line, and hit 0 to go into the camera's view. Now we have all that done. Let's go ahead and hit Shift A, and we'll search for a text object. Hit R, then X on your keyboard, and then 9 and 0 on your numpad, and hit enter to confirm the rotation on the X-axis by 90 degrees. Now, with that done, we can hit tab. It's a lot of steps here, guys, and hit delete a couple of times until all the letters are gone. For this tutorial, I'm going to use the word text, so we're just going to leave the word T. Actually, we can do the word pop, but nah, we'll leave text. Hit tab to go back out of edit mode. So now we can go ahead and go back to the go down to the text tab to change some of the things about the text, because it's looking kind of bland. You know, it needs to look a little bit of salt, maybe a little bit of pepper. You know. Maybe some chili flakes. We're gonna go ahead and go down to the font section right here and go to regular. This little folder. It should open up your folders. It should open up your folders. What? It should open up your fonts in your folder. If you don't know where they are, you can go ahead and search them on your computer. Just search like TTF or OTF or something, and you should be able to find them. But yeah, I have a folder with all of them right here. I'm gonna use Arial just because it's like a super basic font, really easy to use. Let's go ahead and open up the geometry tab here. You can see we can change the offset and stuff like that, but we're not gonna do that, so we'll actually close up for today. It's gonna make everything a little flat and keep it flat for motion graphics. So I'm gonna scroll on down to spacing and change the Y offset down a couple times to maybe like 0.25, sorry, 0.25, like that. Boom. Actually, wait, no. Yeah, there you go. Negative 0.25, sorry, negative 0.25. And then we'll go ahead and change the horizontal alignment from left to center. And then we'll go ahead and hit S to scale this bad boy up a little bit. There you go. Take a look at that. Nice. Now with that done, I want to go ahead and make sure that we have the text nice and set up properly. So if we were to go ahead and actually take the entire text object and move it and scale it around, we would actually override a lot of the animations. So all the keyframes would be like broken if we were to just animate on top of this again, because I want to rotate this. So to make it so that we don't have to ruin all of the animation properties and all the keyframes that we're going to add, we're going to go ahead and add an empty of a plain axis. So hit Shift A and search for an empty. So what I basically mean is, if we were to animate on the text, then if we wanted to move the letter around later on, we would have to mess up all the keyframes we just added, because we're going to add in keyframes on the text. So to have something that we can move around with the text on it, we're going to use this empty. So it'll make sense once we do it. I'll show you. It's a little confusing, I know. We'll go ahead and do the text animation first. So let's go ahead and make our start frame 0 and then change it to the 0 frame. Now on the first frame, I want this to be rotated, but we'll go to the 10th frame first and make sure that it's the right orientation. So hit I, rotation, and then hit go back to the 0 frame. Double tap R to rotate this like that, right? And then hit I, rotation, and we can also use the scale keyframe. So on frame 5, we'll hit and then hit scale. And then go back to the first frame once again, which is 0. Hit S and then 0 on your numpad to scale it to 0, which makes it invisible basically. So it's so small you can't see it. Hit left click to confirm that, and then hit I, scale. Now when we play it, you can see that it does like this, rotates, and does like that, which is really cool stuff. Now I want this frame rate to be higher because it's only on 24 right now. So we'll go to this tab right here and change the frame rate to 60. There you go. And then we'll just go ahead and do like that. So now it kind of pops in, but we need more than that. It looks good, it looks decent, but we need more. We definitely need more than this. It's not spicy enough yet. So on frame 30, I'm gonna go ahead and double tap R on the text, and then move it to about right there, just so it's like rotated. Hit I, rotation, and then on frame 60, we'll jump to, well, so I'm adding one black line every time. So not the gray lines, the black lines. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I'm adding one every time. So this one only has one in between. This one has two. And the next one I have three, and so on and so forth. So with this, we'll go ahead and double tap. Actually, wait. Yeah, we'll double tap R once again. And then we'll move it down like this, like that. And hit I, rotation. And then the next one, we will make it so that it is the original orientation once again. So we'll just grab the 10 frame, the frame is on 10. Hit Shift D to duplicate that, and then we'll move it to frame 100, as you can see right there. Nice stuff. Now, with all of this done, a couple things need to happen. We need to go ahead and duplicate the letters so that it is, obviously, we need more letters than just the T, and we also need to parent the empty to the letter T, and then we can duplicate them all over. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's grab the, let's play it first, actually. So this is what we have. It does this little animation there, which is kind of wild because maybe we rotated it back a little bit too far actually, but it's probably fine. Maybe the forward is probably too far. Let's go ahead and actually clear the rotation real quick, and then we'll just redo it because it is a little, I rotated it a little bit too far down, so maybe just like that, really subtle. Play it again, and as you can see, there we go, that's much better. Cool. Now with that done, we do need to parent this to the empty so we can move the empty around and change the location of the T without adding or removing keyframes if we had location keyframes, obviously. So it's just a really good habit to get into. Let's go ahead and hold down Shift. We'll select the text, and then we'll hold down Shift and select the empty last. Make sure that the empty is the brighter yellow color, the orange color. Hit Control P to add and set parent to object. And now when we move the empty, hit G. You can see that the text will follow along, which is very, very cool stuff. So now we have that done. I'm going to go ahead and grab the empty, and we'll move it over. And then we'll drag a box over top of the empty and the T. Hit Shift D, duplicate that. Hit GX to move it on the X-axis. And then hit Shift D again. Same thing. We'll just duplicate it as many times as we need for all of the letters. So once again, I'm making the word text. So we'll go ahead and just hit Tab and then backspace, and then we'll just add in the letters that I want, which is these letters, obviously. So now that that is done, let's go ahead and take a look at this animation now. But now the problem is, you can see that they all come out at the same exact time. Now, while this looks kind of cool, I do want to make it so that they're staggered so they don't come in at the same time, because that looks really sweet, but I want them to all be separate. So let's select the E, and then we'll click and drag a box over top of all these keyframes, hit G to move it over by 10 frames, and then the same thing with these. So we'll move this from 20, and then the last one, we'll drag a box, hit G, move it to 30. So now you can see that the animation now does this, which is really, really cool stuff. So that is how you make a little popping animation, text animation, which just looks really, really cool. Hope you, ladies and gentlemen, enjoyed it. That is literally all you need to do. Super, super simple. I think it looks really, really cool. Use this for so many different motion graphic like things. But yes, that is how you do that. I will see you in the next one. But until then, bye-bye.